Microsoft's in DC today, Paul Thurrott.
In DC. I'd like to be in DC today.
I mean, you could. You're closer than I am here.
It's true. 3.5 hours. I could be there.
I got to take a plane, which the plane ride's only 60 minutes, but then I got to get on a plane, which is the whole hour before, hour after.
I believe there's a metro service from Dulles now. Also, just randomly, because I read the Washington Post, the Metro bus is going to be free soon for everybody. Just going to make it free.
Yeah. There's a trolley here. Well, it's on rails, so I guess it's a trolley or whatever. It does loops in Cincinnati, in the core, and that thing's free too. It's great. Nice. You just jump on, you jump off.
How did they pay for that? Is it just volume, or how does that work?
I don't even know. There's
I'm
ads
not an
on
economist.
it. They used to charge for it.
It's ads. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Every time you get on, you got to watch a 30-second ad or something like that. It's just
okay. Before you can get on. Okay.
It's a public service, so whatever.
Now that we've beaten. Hey, I'm getting, this happened yesterday. I probably should have mentioned this offline, but my video is flashing.
I just saw it.
Okay, good. I'm glad it's happening to you too. All right, well, that's something I'll have to solve.
See, the disappointing thing here is your camera quality is good now. Your lighting's good. Your audio's good. Now it's just flickering. So maybe.
We can't have everything working, Brad. It wouldn't be a computer,
Have you potentially considered that your house is on an ancient burial ground? Just curious.
Yeah, it absolutely could be, actually. Pretty sure Makunji is an Indian word that's been bastardized in some way. I'll look into that. This would be a good place for a cemetery, that's for sure.
Late last night, and so this is why we're talking about DC here for a second, is Phil Spencer tweeted out that they have come to an agreement with Nintendo and Steam to keep Call of Duty on those platforms, or bring Call of Duty to Nintendo.
Well, to
quasi.
the Switch.
They didn't. Did they say Switch? They just said Nintendo, but I think they mean
said
the
Nintendo
stuff.
I'm sure they mean the new stuff. They're not going to be. Well, there have been Call of Duties on different Nintendo platforms.
Yes.
I know that we had, because I played it, the nunchuck version with Call of Duty 3. You could throw grenades with the nunchuck, which I thought was pretty funny. But I know there were others too. I think the Modern Warfare games probably. Yeah. Anyway, yes,
and then
this
Brad,
will be a first.
So they announced Steam and Nintendo that they have come to an agreement with them. And then Brad Smith came out and said, "Look, we tried to deal with Sony, and Sony is just a non-thing." So anyways, they're in DC right now. I guarantee they're probably meeting with the FTC, obviously, because they're expected to do a ruling here. And maybe this is their, this timing was very intentional.
Oh my God, yes. Look, we've reached agreements with the entire industry, except for the one company that's complaining like a little sissy, like Predator. Yeah. No, it's hard not to see this for exactly what it is.
Yeah. So I would expect that we'll hear more from whatever the FTC here in the near future. It was originally said it would be in December, at least the leaks were. And so now the fact that Microsoft's walking up Capitol Hill would suggest that they are either finding out what it is before it goes public, or they're presenting their side of the argument, or whatever. I don't know. Kissing the ring, whatever they got to do, sort of thing.
You had said something like for the FTC to formally, I guess, sue to stop this.
Yeah, I mean, there's routes, but yes.
Yeah. So there's some kind of committee that makes this decision, I would imagine. And was it you who told? I think you said it had to be unanimous.
I think it has to be
a majority vote.
I think it has to be at least a majority for sure.
Actually, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. So so I have seen the reports where a couple of people in the committee might be waffling. We'll see. So we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Apple yesterday also did some interesting things again, because we all know that they're under the spotlight for whatever.
Oh, did they lower their developer fees to 3% like MasterCard and Visa?
You can now charge $10,000
on an in-app purchase, which would be great for Apple. Yeah, it'd be great for Apple if you bought a $10,000 app. They'd love that.
Yeah,
they should sell a $10,000 app.
We should call it "I Am Rich," like back in the back in the olden days. They also lowered the floors. I think now things can cost 50 cents or something like that.
I think it might be 29 cents. It's a really small number. Well, yeah. It was 99 cents before. Is that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Another
So.
Steve Jobs era rule just gets kicked to the curb.
And then also speaking of Apple, supposedly their car is going to be coming to market 2026. Not going to have full self-driving.
Yeah. Why would it?
I mean, whatever.
That was the that's I think this story comes from that book After Steve, but there's the oh no. There was a Johnny Ive book. Wait. Where did I read this? Maybe it was it was After Steve, because After Steve is Johnny Ive and Tim Cook. And he did this total baloney demo where he had Tim Cook and I think one other executive get in a pretend Apple car that had no steering wheel, a seat for the driver. They all sat facing each other. They didn't drive anywhere, but they went by a moving screen that made it look like they were driving somewhere. And then Johnny Ive was like, "Hey, Sarah, what's that thing over there?" And it's like, "Oh, that's the blah, blah, blah restaurant. It's highly rated." It was just like a completely canned. There was no actual technology. It was the same technology, they used in like movies from the 40s to make it look like you were running in front of something, but it's just a movie in the background. And Tim Cook was so enthralled by this. They're still working on that car. And that's the thing that just got delayed.
Oh God, I hope they do build a car, because that'll be the riskiest thing that company has ever done.
Yep.
Granted, they can afford it. I mean, they could lose $10 billion on it and be like, yeah, okay.
Really? Then why can't they put their app fees down to 3%? Because they can afford that too.
Look, they can't build the car unless they're charging you 30% for when you download your next Facetune app or whatever.
Actually, there's some truth to that. That's where that money came from. Ill-begotten gains.
You gotta do it somehow. In which it'd be interesting to see if building a car is
sure,
and then it's got to be mass market. So it's not like they're building a Rolls Royce, which is built by a guy named Jeeves.
It's not like any of their Apple stores are equipped to roll a vehicle into there and have space for it, and a showroom. They're going to have new other places for the cars, right?
Well, then the whole dealership model too, right? Tesla has been fighting this battle uphill. Like direct sales of vehicles is a very big and hard thing to do. Now Apple has the capacity potentially to fight it, but whatever. Like there's a lot to selling a car.
I'm going to point a term right here. It's going to be something called in-car purchases that you're going to be making.
Paul, I think 30%. I have just completely found out Apple's end game here. This is it. This is how it ends. I've got it. They go to market with a car. What do you need when you need a car? You need insurance. Apple becomes an insurance company, copies the Sony playbook. We retire.
It's that podcast is to work. It works.